stand up and fart. Stand up and fart. Because when you stand up and fart, the person beside you stands up and farts. And when our party stands up and farts, the nation stands up and farts. And when our nation stands up and farts, other nations stand up and fart. And they stand up and fart for the things upon which the entire progress of humanity depends. Freedom. That is what conservatives do. That is what this nation does. Have courage. Bring hope. Stand up and fart. Stand up and fart. Thank you, conference.
I think I've followed through. Well, you are full of shit. Hey, hello.
Yeah, how's everyone doing today? Oh, that was a bit gassy to start off with, wasn't it?
That was my evening done. That was
dear,
yes.
oh dear. Oh, God.
Evening.
Very nice video there, produced by very own Lee Corn.
Yeah, taken straight, ripped straight from the Tory Party conference. No editing,
Yep,
no
straight.
whatsoever.
Yeah, nice one, mate. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Snowflake Show, Season 3, Episode 10. I am your co-host, Reganelite, alongside...
I'm Lee Corn. Here again.
You are Lee Corn. Here again. And over the next hour, guys, we're going to give you the latest news, views, and funny stuff as well. Lee, how have you been? We've both been absent last week. I was away on holiday, and you were under the weather.
I wasn't well last Wednesday. I was gonna, I was gonna do a stream. I guess lined up and everything, and then I was just so ill. Just felt so ill. So, yeah, that was so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, a bit of a write-off, to be honest. But yeah, went to I went to the Labour Social thing on Monday.
You did.
That was
Tell
good.
us about it.
Do you want to talk about it now, or do you want to go through party conference?
Talk about it. Oh well, we can talk about it now, and then we'll go into the Labour conference. Yeah. So what was it like?
So what the conference or because I didn't go into the conference, I haven't got a ticket, so I turned up at the Labour Social thing and offered to help Graham get things set up there. But I turned up an hour early before anybody was going to be there, but I just completely mistimed it. So I walked down to the Docklands, which I know the area roughly a little bit. I was trying to find something to eat. I didn't realise that was literally where the conference was, so it was absolutely rammed with people there. And it was it was packed, absolutely packed. The weather was nice. It was kind of overcast, but it was still nice and warm. There was kind of stumbled across a fringe event in a bar with Stephen Kinnock. It was Labour lawyers. It was talking about immigration and refugees and how the Tory party is spinning it to make it as we know, they're illegal immigrants, and rather than actually bringing people in and giving them opportunities if they are genuine refugees, and rather than using them as political pawns, which is what the Tories are doing. So that was good. And then the whole thing was the stream went quite well, apart from the sound at the beginning. But that was, but apart from that, it's pretty good. So that was the panel that they had. So obviously Graham on the left, then Femi, Phil from A Different Bias, Marina Purkis, and Supertansky. Yeah. So didn't really chat to. I only really chatted briefly to Supertansky, but I did. Steve Bray was there. I saw Steve Bray, Richard Corbett, Mike Galsworthy, the head of the leader of the Rejoin EU party. He was there, and obviously from Byline Times as well. And And yeah, we kind of moved on from after the thing. We had a few beers in there, and went on to another. But I had to go get my train. But I believe what's Eddie Izzard turned up later on, so maybe a few other people as well from the party conference. So yeah, but it was good. Yeah, my feet are killing me. I did so much walking because I walked down to the conference and walked back up again, then walked from the train station, then walked back to the train station. So it was a bit mental. But yeah,
you did your walk, you did your steps to that day.
18,500 steps that day in brand new trainers, which wasn't great because I've got blisters on my feet now. So, but yeah, he was good, good. Yeah. How about you? So was your holiday anyway?
Oh, it was very nice. It was just a nice little mini break from me and my missus, just to kind of get away, because we haven't had a proper holiday for a while. But yeah, just been spending this week doing some content and just applying for some work. For, as you guys know, I don't have a job right now, so I need to get back on the saddle, shall we say? But yeah, apart from that, I'm all right. Having a bit of a cough lately, or for the last couple of days or a week. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be COVID, but apparently it's going around. So
yeah.
So do forgive me if I do cough a few times. But Lee, we've got quite a few people in the chat. Which I wonder who they are.
Well, there's some guy called Reganelite. He's always here. Can't get rid of him, right, Spanner? Snowflake show. He's a good guy.
Oh, okay.
Evening, Snowflake. So there's Tom Nelson. Hi, Tom. Ben Shaw's here. Evening, everybody. Drew Vengeance is here. I can't remember how many cups of tea I've had today. Okay.
I'm a bit worried. Hope you have.
Oh yeah, don't drink too many.
Might have to go to the bathroom a few times.
Yeah, and overdose on caffeine. Context is here. Hi, Context. Context. Good evening, everyone. 91 Leeds is here. Hi, 91 Leeds. Cathal OG is here. Evening all. Tom Nelson said that. Context Ben Shaw. Simon says 55. Evening Ben Shaw. Well, evening to you as well. Simon says 55. Just looking. So 91 Leeds says, Tom Nelson says a lot of hot air, beautifully wrapped. Yes. I am a mage. I'm a mage. I can make air smell nice. So context. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean. Maybe we mistyped that. Any luck on new domicile? All right, okay, that's chats. My devilish machinations are in the works, says Duke. So yeah, there we go. So welcome.
Good stuff, guys. So we obviously had so obviously because we both weren't here last week, we had the Conservative conference, which was, my God, was a barnyard of shall we say, of gas, shall we say, as if hearing from Penny Mordaunt was bad enough. The gas coming out of there was pretty foul, shall we say. A lot of lies. Absolutely infuriated with what they're doing with the ripping up HS2.
Yeah.
Which that's just absolutely outrageous.
The irony of that was, like, he was stood in a former railway station. There used to be 3 big stations in Manchester. Manchester Central was sat dormant for, like, after the beaching cuts, I think. And it was just an empty shell, basically, no glass or anything, just the empty frame of it. And then in the 80s, the local council resurrected it and created GMX, renamed it Manchester Central. It was basically a big railway station that they've turned into an exhibition centre. So he stood in a former railway station that's been repurposed to announce that he was cancelling a new train line that was going to go to Manchester. It was just like, in Manchester. And you're just thinking, could you have made it any worse? Could you have said it before you went to or wait until after the conference, but no, had to announce it at the conference?
Do you know what the worst thing about it was?
Go on.
The thing that infuriates me the most is not the fact that he's cancelling it. He's making sure that Labour can't get on it with the next general election by selling the land, and he's going to make sure it gets sold to his mates or whatnot. So we'll see. Pretty much, it's a dead in the water project, because it's just going to cost too much money for Labour.
Well, we'll see what happens with that, because part of the thing is that well, we're not sure whether he can just do that straight off without actually getting parliamentary approval. That's one of the things I think Julian Morn of the Good Law Project was already talking about, looking into legalities of being able to just cancel it like that as well. So we'll see. I mean, what was frustrating for me was he announced all these different plans. I mean, one of them was they're going to extend the Manchester Metrolink tram system to Manchester Airport. which would, they were guaranteed to deliver on it and ahead of time because it actually opened in 2014. But
yeah, I know. Great headline from the newspaper.
Yeah, but they backtracked. Oh no, that's to Terminal 2 because it only goes to Terminal 1 now, and it's like, well, Terminal 2 is only like a little bit further on. It's not like it's like a 10-mile journey or something. It's gonna be like a really tiny. It's not gonna cost a lot of money. But then it came out that actually I can't remember which was it Oliver Dowden, I can't remember who it was, and went on TV and when he was quizzed about the different these new projects that were supposed to be replacing HS2, the money was supposed to be used. He said, well, it's not actually, they're just examples of projects that could go ahead, and we're going to leave it down to local councils. So you know that these things aren't going to happen. What maybe 1 in 10 out of them will happen if they already spent money on it. Maybe, I don't know, but I can't see it. Honestly cannot see it.
Yeah, some of the interactions between the MPs and some of the interviewers was just shocking. The amount, I don't know, I think it was 1 or 2 people like jumping praise on GB News, and I was just like, are you absolutely serious after what they've been going through lately? I mean, like, just talk about completely out of touch with the public whatsoever. In stark contrast to the Labour conference, wasn't it? What did you make of the conference? Before we look at the highlights, the first article, which is the highlights of from Tuesday. What do you make of the conference overall?
Well, just going back to the Tory one of the things you were just saying there about the press, a lot of the news journalists on TV did actually give the Tories a hard time when they were lying about these things. They were pulling them up on them, which they need to be doing more of. When they're blatantly lying about these things. So that was good to see.
Sophie Ridge as well, wasn't it?
Sophie Ridge, yeah. They was just coming up with these nonsense about the meat tax, wasn't it? That was another one about the meat tax.
7 bins.
She's like, but that's never actually been, Labour policy, and she was like, oh, well, that's not the point. Was it Coutinho? And she's like, but you're saying that they're going to bring this thing in, and there's no intention whatsoever, just utter. Yeah, just lies basically, and trying to gaslight the country. Did you want to go on to the Labour one straight away, or do you want to just have a look at some?
Oh no, didn't you have a vid? Didn't we
have a couple of videos? Yeah, because there's this incident that happened. Let's.
Yeah, you guys may have seen this make the rounds on the internet, but
chased out of their jobs for saying that a man can't be a woman.
Right, so to put it in context, this is Suella Braverman on her keynote speech, saying that about people being chased out of the jobs for having an opinion that other people didn't like.
Scolded for rejecting that they're beneficiaries of institutional racism. Disciplined for using the wrong words.
So this is,
Member of the London Assembly, a member of the party for 50 years and a proud member.
I'm not going to shout at your Home Secretary.
We're not getting our way, please.
What should the Prime Minister do about Suella Braverman?
Educate her.
And so, what particularly upset you about what the Home Secretary was saying just now?
Well, the scapegoating of gay people, this attack on what's supposedly gender ideology, which incidentally doesn't exist, and we shouldn't be picking on vulnerable people in order to get votes. We've got enough of a good record on LGBT rights, on making this country a better place, without picking on vulnerable people. I think what she said was disgusting, but there's been a lot of it, and I've been a loyal member for 50 years, and I don't want to sully the name of this party with that kind of tripe. Picking on people who are vulnerable, picking on minorities when there's absolutely no evidence of them being any threat whatsoever. I think it's disgusting, and I don't think we should be putting up with it.
Do you think you personally are in trouble as an elected Conservative with the party?
Being in trouble is in my bloodstream. It's not a feeling I haven't felt before.
Yeah. So I didn't actually show that, but he actually got manhandled out of the. All he was doing was saying that's like these are lies, it doesn't exist. And she was talking about things like transphobia or trans rights and things like that, and he was gender ideology. He wasn't shouting it; he was just saying it, and he literally. I mean, what was embarrassing? Well, embarrassing and also disturbing was that there's a Greater Manchester police officer there pulling him out of the crowd as well, out of the audience. And it's like, well, why are the police getting involved in this? This is a if they want him out, that's a security issue. You know, that's not a police issue. He hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, they were giving Steve Bray such a hard time outside as well. That from the Twitter threads that Steve was showing as well. In stark contrast to at the Labour conference, they were constantly trying to push Steve Bray away or push him around and all this kind of stuff. The officers there, and it was just an absolute ridiculous where he's done absolutely nothing wrong and he has a right to free speech and all that. They were being very, very, very harsh on Steve Bray as well. The other thing I want to point out as well, he had, because I did see a video of him on LBC, because he talked to LBC as well about the incident, and he made it very clear he has no intention of changing his loyalties or anything like that. Like, he's proud to be Conservative and he's still going to remain the party whatsoever, and he's still going to back the Prime Minister, whatever. Pretty much, he made that very clear.
Well, he's a member of the London Assembly, as a sort of Conservative member, so he's not really like, you know, it's not like he's going to change his mind, but he is openly gay, and he has clashed with the party on this sort of thing in the past, apparently. So, you know, he's just standing up for his own moral views and his own views, and saying that the party is completely wrong on that. So, yeah.
What's the chat saying?
Penny Mordor says Tom Nelson, more like Penny Mordor than Penny Mordaunt.
There's lies and have been so crazy shows how desperate they are, says Niall. One leads.
Cathal OG says this isn't your library book, just an example of one you could have had. Okay.
Lies, damn lies, and Tories, says Tom. Alistair Keir reminded us that there was no video. Duke says most groups would have given up a long time ago. It's interesting to me that the Tories would just keep going. Surely they should realise that by now they have no chance.
Sorry, yeah, I didn't have the video on screen. I had the thing in the wrong mode. That's why. Sorry, apologies for
warms your heart, doesn't it? Democracy at its finest, says Ben.
Oh yeah.
Shall we switch over to the Labour conference then? Enough.
Just a couple of things on Penny Mordaunt. I mentioned it, and so this is one that someone posted, and Armando Iannucci also retweeted. Stand up and fight, because when you stand up and fight, the person beside you stands up and fights. And when our nation stands up and fights, other nations stand up and fight. And when other nations stand up and fight, there's a world war and we all die. Hang on, I need to check this. Yeah, that was brilliant. And then stand up and fight. Yeah. Rosie Holt says, when you can't remember what you were talking about, but stand up and fight sounds nice.
Right.
Good grief, this wouldn't get past the opening round of Amjam auditions, but let's all stand up and fight. Parody Rishi Sunak says, Penny Mordaunt got all the Tory conference delegates ready to stand up and fight, but she can't tell them what to fight for, who, or with, or why. There you go. Zim Ching says, stand up and fight, says a woman representing the party to introduce sweeping laws against the right to protest. Yes. Brendan May says, I cannot stop watching it. I can't stop watching this. It's one of the most peculiar things I've ever seen, which, given a venue, is really saying something. Get to the end if you can. Yeah, just her saying, stand up and fight. Does she want people to stand up and fight? It's just not clear.
No, I don't know.
David Badil says, I don't think I've ever seen anyone put so much emphasis, significance, and passion into saying absolutely nothing. Yeah. Well done. Yes, well done, Penny. Very good. I think I've got this theory that it was like she's got to put something, but she knows that like the game's up on for the Tories, and she's just like, what did my old sergeant used to say to rile us up as we were going on into manoeuvres? Stand up and fight, because when you stand up and fight, the person stand up and fight. Writing that down. That's my speech. Oh dear. Yes.
You know, it's funny. It's a funny contrast to David Lammy's speech, because at least you knew when he was doing the rallying, we will stand up. But we knew what he meant when he was saying we will stand up, won't we? In his speech.
Yeah.
So...
it's just absolute nonsense. Stand up and fight for what? And it's like the country's not going to stand up and fight for you. You brought it to its knees. No matter what you say, that isn't going to happen.
She just looked so pathetic.
She ran off stage. She kind of like legged it quick. Get off before they realise that I've not actually said anything. While they're still clapping. I don't know.
I loved. Yeah, there was just so many funny videos of it. But
yeah.
So they Do you want to have a look at the Labour conference?
Yeah,
then?
so Labour. So if we have a look at this, then. Oh, sorry, wrong one. There we go.
Yeah, let's
conference. This is the Tory mindset now. Don't solve problems, exploit them. So if you are a Conservative voter who despairs of this, if you look in horror at the descent of your party into the murky waters of populism and conspiracy, with no argument for economic change, if you feel our country needs a party that conserves, that fights for our union, our environment, the rule of law, family life, the careful bond between this generation and the next, then let me tell you, Britain already has one, and you can join it. It's this Labour Party. It's been 13 years now. And what does Britain have to show for it? Where is their minimum wage? Where is their Shore Strike? Crime down by a third, more students than ever, devolution, the shortest NHS waiting list in history, 500,000 out of child poverty, peace in Northern Ireland. I'm not going to do the whole list. I haven't got time. But isn't the contrast stark? 13 years of things can only get better versus 13 years of things have only got worse. I've been fighting all my life, and I won't stop now. I've felt the anxiety of a cost of living crisis before, and until your family can see the way out, I will fight for you. That's my mission, and we will do it. We will face down the age of insecurity together. Break the stranglehold of Tory decline. Walk towards a decade of national renewal. It's time to build 1.5 million new homes across the country. Opportunities for first-time buyers in every community. New development corporations with the power to remove the blockages. New infrastructure to support families and communities to grow. Roads, tunnels, power stations built quicker and cheaper. And a new effort to rewire Britain. The national grid moving faster, a lot faster. Laying the cables our future prosperity needs. Why Labour? Because we serve your interests. Why Labour? Because we will grow every corner of our country. Why Labour? Because we have a plan to take back our streets, switch on great British energy, get the NHS back on its feet, tear down the barriers to opportunity and get Britain building again. A plan for a Britain built to last, a plan to heal the wounds, a plan to turn the page and say, in a cry of defiance to all those who now write our country off, Britain must, Britain can, Britain will get its future back. Thank you, Conference.
Yeah.
Few good policies and that, but it is a lot of talk, to be fair. But right now, I would say that it's optimism. Like I said on my live stream regarding it, like we need to be optimistic because things have been pretty crap for the last 13 years. So and rightfully so, people are concerned about Labour, and I am too. But at the same time, it's like this is the best alternative we have right now. So let's get them in. And I would say to people, if you're still like skeptical about Labour, I would say it's been 13 years of the same party. Let's give Labour a chance, is what I would say.
There's a good. I was watching the Joe Politics Joe. They do the podcast. They did one with Mick Lynch from the RMT at the Labour Party. I think it was at the Labour Party conference. Now the RMT isn't affiliated to Labour, but he was saying in this, I don't see why people are saying I'm not going to vote Labour just because you have a slightly different, political opinion from Keir Starmer. And he said he doesn't agree with Keir Starmer on a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you need to get a Labour government. You need to get the Tories out, and it's more important to do that, because if you decide I'm not going to vote, or I'm not going to vote Labour, just purely because you're not too keen on Keir Starmer, then you basically are setting us up for another 5 or 6 years, or 5 years at least, of the Tories again. And at least then once Labour's in, then you can start to push for the things that you want. Now, again, his political views are probably slightly more to the left of mine, but I'm not a centrist. I don't believe I'm a centrist. I consider myself a socialist, but some of the views that he has are probably a bit further to the left. But the point is that you can't expect it to change unless you push. The only party that has got any chance of getting the Tories out the next election is Labour. So to say I'm not going to do it is just stupid. But anyway, so even Mick Lynch, I mean, somebody probably wouldn't expect to say that, but he's because he's quite far to the left, and not a big fan of Keir Starmer. He's pushing that as well. So yeah,
I think so. One of the obviously in my constituency is strong Labour. So where I cast my ballot is not going to really make an impact. But where you are, Guy, if you're in an area where tactical vote is key, will be key for this general election, guys. If you have to vote Lib Dem to get the Tories out, you vote Lib Dem to get the Tories out.
Yeah.
If Labour if you have a shot at Labour, go for it. But we really need to prioritise getting rid of the Conservatives. And again, like Lee says, I completely understand the criticism on Keir Starmer, and I have been just as much critiqued on my channel as some other people. Believe me, I'm there. I'm not a Labour person. I actually have more confidence in the Green Party personally than I do in Labour. That's just my personal preference right now, but that can change, obviously.
But the Green Party isn't going to get in. It might get one seat, maybe two.
Well, they're aiming for 4 seats apparently at this next general election, which is very ambitious of them. I will give them that.
I mean, it might be a struggle to get Brighton, to be honest. Brighton and Hove.
Yeah. I have looked at the candidate for them. But regardless, but we need to remove the Conservatives from power. That is the main priority. And then once Labour in power, or God forbid we have a hung parliament, we'll take the next step as it is. I understand the concerns of Labour, and rightfully so. Trust us, we're not sitting. I think it's fair to say me and Lee are not sitting next to Labour Social saying we're all Labour, yay, sort of thing. We're not. But
no.
we are supportive of Labour Social and what they're trying to do, because they are trying to influence Labour in the right direction, and hopefully they can help make a difference. Because listening to some of their live streams at the conference, they do want to make an impact, for the better of the United Kingdom, not just for Labour. So
cards on the table, though. I'm a Labour member, so just in case anybody questions that, but only since Jeremy Corbyn left, or since Jeremy Corbyn was no longer leader.
Jeannie Bottle's here. Good to see you, Jeannie. Hope you're doing well.
I think that
I will never vote for Tories. Good for
no,
you.
No, I can never bring myself to vote for a Tory. I think you'd have to be one of those situations, a bit like they have in France sometimes, where it's a runoff between a Conservative and the far right. You'd have a choice, and it's like, well, you have to hold. I think they have to hold my nose and pick the vote for the Conservative, regardless.
Evening, Joe. Good to see you, buddy. Joe. Don't worry about being late. It's all good, mate.
Voting tactically is very common here in PR land, especially in municipal elections, when what you care about is the person or party ruling the area that you live in. Okay. It's interesting actually talking about PR at the I don't know if you saw. Did you watch the whole of the Labour social thing? They got to the point where they were talking about proportional representation. And someone said, "Oh,
Yes.
I've heard that if someone said to me that if we got proportional representation, the Labour Party will probably split into three, which I actually think is likely. But it would also happen to the Conservatives.
Yes.
Either it wouldn't be one party anymore. And I think in a way that'd be a good thing. I mean, if we get if as you said now, if we get proportional representation, the Tories will probably never get in party power again.
It will keep the likes of Reform and UKIP and Nigel Farage out of power as well, because they will not get. They would have to, because of the way proportional representation is. People would have to work alongside them.
Yeah,
they don't, and they won't want to cooperate with.
Unfortunately. Well, the way the Tories are going at the moment, and it's that's they're heading in that same direction. So, but I think that you'll be the moderate Tories, probably the One Nation Tories will probably go, yeah, we don't want to be with these lot anymore, leave Suella Braverman and all the rest there. All shots the eye, all shots eye, Marcus. Vote Binface, yes.
Marcus.
Vote Binface, yeah. So. Do you want to have a look at there's an article about Keir Starmer on there about house building?
Did we not want to look at the? Oh, there was that one about Did you want to cover that one about the highlight thing?
Oh, the highlights. Yeah, we can have a look at the highlights.
Have a quick look at it, guys. They had the last day was today, wasn't it? In West Street. West Streeting's speech wasn't wasn't too much coming out of that speech, but we'll look at some of the highlights.
This is yesterday's. Yeah. So Starmer got covered in glitter. Before the
Shadowmans tried to keep spirits high in the grave yard and filehouse. So the quote of the day was from Keir Starmer's conference speech. He says, "If you are a Conservative voter who despairs of this, if you look in horror at the descent of your party into the mucky waters of populism and conspiracy with no arguments for economic change, if you feel our children need a party that conserves, that fights for our union, our environment, the rule of law, family, life, the careful bond between this generation and the next, then let me tell you, Britain already has one, and you can join it. It's the Labour Party." Mm-hmm. It's a very good quote, very good. A long one, arguably needs a couple of full stops, but the heartfelt central argument of Keir Starmer's conference speech. The row of the day came in a highly disciplined conference, almost devolved of rows. We finally had some drama, although not an actual one, where the protester showered Keir Starmer with glitter. So we're just going to state on the record, he's an absolute dumbass. The protest was subsequently turned out to be about proportional representation. Nice one, mate. Yeah, when we want proportional representation, way to pull a stunt like that.
You just need to wait until after they're not going to you're not going to put it on the manifesto.
It's not going to be on the manifesto.
No.
They've already made it clear. And Phil from A Different Bias is more in the know than any of us. And if he says it's not going to be on it, it's not going to be on it.
No.
So while the messengers were radical People's Demand Democracy, a group associated with Just Stop Oil, the issue of proportional representation is very much a live debate in Labour, with Starmer holding out against the desire of the party members for electoral reform.
That is true.
The tweet of the day was from Labour students. It says, "We'll be glitter-free on the door for anyone at our Labour students' disco night. Shine like Keir."
Yeah, what I found funny, I was just watching that because I'd watched a few videos of his speech. And I kept thinking, the green screen must be glitching. And I realised it's not on a green screen; it's the glitter in his hair. It was just kept getting dots in his hair. Yeah. So do you want to have a quick look at this? This is the T-shirt that they launched.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay. Let's have a look.
So Labour Party, the shop created a limited edition unisex garment. Unleash your inner shimmer and shine, sparkle with Starmer. There you go.
Oh, what they should have done is put Keir Starmer's face on and then loads of sparkle and glitter on the shirt. They missed out an opportunity there.
Because funnily enough, I was trying to find it before, but I can't find it. But on News Stump already had a post basically with their own T-shirt for Keir Starmer, but they said Keir Starmer this is from News Thump, the parody site. Starmer tells public under a Labour government it'll be harder to buy glitter than cigarettes. This is a bit of a Miggy take of the Tory party conference where Rishi Sunak said it's going to be tough on the causes of glitter. Tough on glitter, tough on the causes of glitter. Bang, and the glitter's gone.
It's a very serious Keir Starmer when it comes to tackling glitter.
Yeah. Right, let's go back to that then.
Just the last bit there at the bottom, Wednesday's highlights. Without any disrespect to the Shadow Minister delivering speeches in the final half session, there is somewhat of a graveyard slot with many conference attendees either packing onto trains every Wednesday morning, service to London sold out, or nursery hangovers from the Friday night parties. Among those trying to whip up remaining faithful would be the Shadow Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson and Jonathan Ashworth, who as Shadow Paymaster Generals have election-focused role. Be Ashworth's job to make the final speech, a traditionally jokey but uplifting affair intended to seal delegates home with a spring in their step. So, just for those who may happen to be staying right all the way till the end of the conference.
Yeah. I think, I don't know why they do that. You'd think he'd wrap it up after Keir Starmer, after the leader's speech.
Wrap up after Keir's speech.
Yeah, because everybody thinks that's it done.
Speech, because then everybody has to stay all the way to the end then.
Stay to the end, yeah. I think Graham had Labour Social had I think at the conference on Tuesday. Initially, it was going to be at 12.
Speech.
Well, it was initially meant to be 12 o'clock, and then he got shoved to 2 o'clock, which was literally at the time where Keir Starmer's speech was starting.
No, it was 3 o'clock, and then it got shoved to 4 o'clock. I saw Phil posted a comment on his YouTube.
Oh yeah, but I think 3 o'clock was the time when the Keir Starmer's speech was supposed to be. Initially, that was the thing. They got shoved back to that, and I don't know if they kicked up a bit of a fuss about it, but I think there was a bit of a mix-up on the things. They didn't end up on the program on the app, which tells you what's happening. So there weren't that many people there apparently for that one.
West Street was fantastic. We haven't got the clip, but obviously I don't know. Did you see West Street in
no.
On Sky News where he basically, what did he call them? He called the Conservatives. He called them like crackpots and other names, basically.
Right.
A bunch of crackpots, conspiracy theorists, and he was saying this all on Sky News, and it was like proper burial of the Conservatives, which is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it's worth checking out some of the highlights from some of the speeches if you haven't already. I did cover quite a few of the speeches on my channel, guys, on the live stream there, obviously, but. Yeah, definitely just worth checking out some highlights from the conference anyway. But guys, some good optimism is what we need, guys. So.
Said NHS must modernise or die. Well, I mean, some of the contracts are stuck with, but there you go.
It's going to be a headache either way. But
yeah, I think I've covered everything on that.
Left, so.
We've still got a couple of articles to go, not really about the Tory conference.
We can skip one or two, but we'll just we'll cover one or two. We'll just depend on time, isn't it? To be fair.
Yeah. Do you want to do the anti-slavery watchdog?
Yeah, let's have a look at this one. This was one that recently dropped a few hours ago on The Guardian. So Labour accuses the new anti-slavery watchdog of being Conservative Patsy. Patsy, thank you.
As in Patsy Kensit.
Commissioner's role was vacant for 18 months and is now set to be filled by former Boris Johnson advisor. Labour have accused Suella Braverman of employing an inexperienced Conservative. Can't say that word.
Patsy. Just think Patsy Kensit.
Yeah, as the UK's independent anti-slavery watchdog follows 18 months when the statutory role remains unfulfilled. Eleanor Lyon, who was a special advisor to Boris Johnson, will take up the role of anti-slavery commissioner in December, the Home Secretary announced on Wednesday. The previous appointee, Sarah Thornton, a former chief consultable who had chaired a conference on modern slavery when she was appointed. She succeeded Kevin Harlan, who had helped the Met Police human trafficking unit. Lyons, who's currently the Deputy Children's Commissioner, was a political appointment as a government advisor between 2017 and 2019 to Johnson, and Gavin Williamson when he was Chief Whip and Defence Secretary. She has more recently worked for the PR and lobbying firm Portland Communications. Jess Phillips, the shadow Home Office Minister for Safeguarding, has seized upon the appointment as evidence of cronyism. It is absolutely no surprise that the government wants to give the job, which has previously been held by experts and senior police officers, to a Conservative patsy who will do whatever they want, she said. They couldn't possibly have anyone who knows anything about slavery, because no one who knew anything about it would tell the government they were doing a good job. They are scared, and they are scarred and inexperienced, and they are happy to fail British children being trafficked in even higher numbers, and women being brought here to be repeatedly raped. Fulton resigned on April the 30th last year amid concerns that the government's anti-immigration laws would undermine anti-slavery laws, which it was. I'm just going to put that out there. An independent review of the Modern Slavery Act in 2019 recommended the future appointment to the role of watchdog should be subject to pre-appointment hearing before a selected committee. However, there has been no such hearings from Lyons. Diana Johnson, chair of the Home Affairs Select Committee, said the government had introduced a raft of new laws and regulations with major implications for trafficking victims, while there has been no one in post. It has been deeply disappointing that there has been no anti-Avery commissioner to give evidence to our inquiry into the trafficking, she said. We therefore look forward to hearing from the new commissioner as soon as she comes into post to assess their plans for preventing exploitation, prosecuting perpetrators, and protecting victims. Whitehall sources question whether Lyons had any experience in the field of modern slavery. One said, "This looks as if they've given the job to someone that actually think there would be a friend of the government." Another source says they are effectively downgrading the fight against anti-slavery. The Home Office statement said Lyons was selected following a robust competition conducted with government official codes. So the code is obviously throw enough money, or allegedly chat up enough guys or something like that, or whatever, and you can get anywhere, because that's probably allegedly might have been the case.
Well, it's just not just one of Boris Johnson's assistants. So
yeah, totally nothing wrong with that at all.
have you watched? Have you seen the Partygate documentary?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the type of people that are employed in Number 10, or particularly when Boris Johnson was there. Probably the same with Rishi Sunak. They're all basically Eton or public school toffs who don't know what the real world is actually like, and just get jobs handed on a plate because of who they know, what school they went to, what.
Yeah, wasn't that
lobby
some
firm they've worked
advisor
for.
to Boris Johnson got made a lord, wasn't there? That really young girl.
Yeah, there's lots of rumours about her, and I don't want to go into that, but yeah, about who she's actually related to.
I don't know the rumours, but I just shocking the fact by her age and that she's gotten into the House of Lords. It's just like, for just being an advisor, it's just crazy.
Well, I mean, from what people were saying as well, she wasn't like a very particularly good advisor. She's just been mediocre, moved from one job to another, and then ended up suddenly being a lady. Sorry, yeah, there you go.
There you go, guys.
It's I think cronyism is what you call it.
Allshort says, "Is she a baroness now? Is she Russian?" And I don't think the one we're talking about is Russian. I don't think she was Russian.
No.
The lady that got
she was like 26 years old or something.
Yeah, she was just a former advisor of Boris Johnson. Yeah, that's basically her only credentials, pretty much.
Yeah.
Republic, says Joe.
Yeah. The guy in the dolphin suit looks serious and credible, says Tom Nelson. Ultra says there's no way Labour or anyone can build enough houses. I think you're right, but there has to be a start on it.
I'm more optimistic.
Yeah, I'd say we did skip an article. I just realised we did skip an article. We can go back to it. Labour needs to say we'll put PR for election regardless of election result. I don't think they're going to do that because they don't want to spook the electorate at the moment. Everything's going well for them. The aim is to get in power, then you can kind of change, then you can decide what you want to do. But the most pressing things at the moment are sorting out the NHS, sorting out the infrastructure, and getting so people can actually afford to live, and then all these things will follow.
You need to get the basic functions of society working, because everything is broken right now.
Because if you don't fix it in 5 years' time, when you come for the next election, the Tories go, well, they've had 5 years in power and they haven't fixed it. Give us another chance, and people will forget, especially if they're really struggling.
Yeah, people will tend to forget things. Like there's a lot of talk of a lot of Conservative voters who are basically saying they're not even going to turn up to the polls because they're so disgusted with their party. But it doesn't mean to say that Labour are guaranteed in power, but they will come back. They may come back next year to vote Conservative. I mean, we don't know what they're going to be like in 5 years' time, but it's just don't take this position for granted. If you're Labour, get the country on its feet. Get the economy going. Get people on their feet. Help people get on their feet, and you'll win over more hearts and minds than you will in this general election.
Allshot says no house builder will oversupply since it will push the house prices down. Yeah, I think we'll have a look at the article, but I think part of it is not just private housing, but also social housing. I think they definitely want to stop these firms who are holding on to, who are basically what's the word I'm looking for? They're basically sitting on squatting on land that they bought and not building houses deliberately. Charat says PR would result in Labour splitting to centre left, Social Dems, left socialists, and hard left. Possibly, yeah. Tories would split into centre right, Christian Democrats right, Libertarians, and hard right. Yeah, probably. It's likely.
We would have a bundle of political parties and not just one.
Yeah, so, but then when you enter the vote, rather than having to pick between Labour or the Conservatives, you'd be able to pick your flavour of that.
Water once PR comes in.
And we need this country needs something better than that.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Ben Shaw says at least consider distinctions. So, yeah, that's true. I plan to steal. Jeannie Bottle says I plan to steal Bibi Stockholm and sail it to Spain. Allshot says Jeannie, you'll need a tug. Okay. Allshot. No. Kenzie's here. Hi, Kendra. We missed it. Chatty Rat. Sandy Bill's here. Jeannie Bottle, obviously. Zhao, I think we mentioned before. Hi, Kendra. Verti Q's here as well. Hi, Verti.
Hi, Verti. Good to see you.
They're both from Eton, so they're both flat. Who's that? Keir Starmer isn't from Eton, is he? No.
No. I should remember the bingo card from No Justice's stream.
Zhao says the European Parliament voting system is copied from Finland, so the UK can use the original. Okay. Let's like says Allshot. Yeah, please hit the like button. I seem to have missed loads of these. Because
going for a show. Okay. Limit the number of positions the ministers can appoint here. Here they can appoint a state secretary and about 2 employees. The rest are public officers, says Zhao.
Right.
Sandy Bill says, must be a tricky one to reconcile since they're not opposed to workplace exploitation per se.
Allshot says more house means less value. Investors won't invest if their current assets are devalued. Yeah. But like I say, there's social housing as well. But at the moment, we're so few houses being built.
They did mention council houses in their housing speech as well.
Yeah,
that was a thing as well. So council houses is something that people want as well. We haven't had them for a long time as well. We need a distribution of wealth. I think Doc Davis. Yeah, I think. Doc. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well there.
I think Marcus. The thing is, once you're in government, you can change these rules on social housing and how many get built and things like that. So.
Yeah,
we've
had
the
Tories do anything on the outside.
Years. Yeah, so all these things at the moment that are limiting it, those things can change, and we'll have to see.
They'll push hard for new homes. They really will.
Yeah. So talking about different PR systems. So Ireland and Malta use a British multi-seat STV system, single transferable vote, isn't it? France uses a national list. Belgium uses the Hunt, though one of its pre-constituency returns just one MEP, so that constituency is effectively F, first past post. GB uses Belgian de Hunt system for its elections. for its EP elections. What's that? That must be the 3 seats constituency. Whereas European Parliament elections, yeah, we're not in the European Parliament anymore. So whereas Northern Ireland used single transferable vote for its 3 seats constituency. This is the thing. There are a lot of different versions of PR. So it depends which one you go through.
Just finding one that's suitable for us, to be fair.
Right. So shall we move on? Oh, if we go back to that one about Keir Starmer, because I kind of missed that article.
Yeah, it got about 7 minutes, but we'll just look at this one. So it's a headline is Keir Starmer says he's a house building Yimby. Well, Yimby. So we're talking about houses anyway. He told the BBC that he's a Yimby. Yes, in my backyard, because he is against blocking new homes being built in local areas. The Labour leader would bulldoze restrictive planning rules and overrule local MPs to build more homes. So Keir has pledged to build 1.5 million homes if elected. Yimby's, the opposers of Not in My Backyard, are pro-housing advocates who want to build projects to start near them. Obviously, we want to work with local communities, Sir Keir said, but added we need to ensure planning goes upper levels so it's not localised. Previous governments have been too fearful of local opposition to deliver the homes the country needs, Sir Keir said in an earlier interview. Political editor Chris Mason, if he was a Yimby, Sir Keir replied, yes, I think it's very important that we build the homes we need for the future, he added. He said it was understandable that individual MPs would want to stand up for residents in their local area, but he added that the role of government is obviously different. The role of the government is to deliver on big projects. As a backbench MP, Sir Keir spent the first 5 years in Parliament opposing HS2 entirely for the impact it would have on its central London seat of Holborn and St Pancras. Speaking in the House of Commons a month after being elected, Sir Keir told MPs that he opposed HS2 on cost and on merit. Look where we are now. The impact of HS2 on my constituency, on residents, businesses and environment will be devastating, he added. But the rest is a bit about his speech. But that point there about he's basically going to tear up. There is one thing that's definitely going to upset people is that people who don't want homes built in their backyards in their green air, like green in a bit. There is going to be green land going to be taken up for homes.
I think he used a good example. Actually, it was one that there was a school that wanted there was houses were being built in this area, and there was a school car. There was a car park basically, but it was inside the green belt.
Yeah.
And next to it was some playing fields that was classed as grey belt because it wasn't out. It was inside the part that wasn't green belt. It was classed as like sort of city, just urban area. And because the car park was green belt, they couldn't bulldoze it and build new houses there, so they had to build it on the playground, playing on the playing fields, which is basically literally green fields. And that's his point is that like just because it's labelled as green belt doesn't necessarily mean it's like these utopian fields and trees and stuff like that. It just depends where it is, and you have to be sensible. But the problem is people, local councils is just using these rules to stop things being built.
Lots of MPs and that they're scared of local residents. Like local residents, they're like, I don't want homes being built in my backyard and that. And I'm just like we've kind of been a bit soft on it, but saying like my parents live out like they live in that like they don't want homes being built. Like there's proposals of homes being built they don't have it outside their backyard, but in the areas that they are, they know like lush green areas that are going to be turned into homes, and they don't want that. And well, they got to build new homes somewhere, so
I mean, one of the things is in the city, there's just millions in cities. Just now these big things of I know Graham and Labour Social has been going about is these apartments for students, luxury apartments for students, and it's like there's so many of them that they're taking up the whole city. They're not designed for families, they're not designed for couples, really. They're designed for sort of single students. And it's like, well,
it's too expensive anyway.
And they're ridiculously expensive. I think it's a bit of a Ponzi scheme, but that's just my opinion. They basically build these things and they sell them as individual apartments to investors, who then get a share of it. But I think ultimately, in a few years' time, there'll be like what do you call them? Timeshares, where people suddenly realise these things aren't worth what they've been told they were worth, what they're sold for. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we need more houses. I don't know where they're going to come, where you build them without building on Greenland to some extent. But
yeah,
I think the other thing is a lot of what you call NIMBYs tend to be conservatives who literally use to have big massive houses overlooking a big field, or with a nice view, and they're holding up everybody else from having a house or being able to get on the property ladder because. Partly because they don't want somebody spoiling their view of their house that they probably paid peanuts for and it's now worth £1 million. So yeah, there is a bit of that as well. But anyway,
hey Pumps, good to see you there.
Hi Pumps,
see you in the
and
chat
Doc
as
Davis
well.
is here. Rub lard on your armpits. Okay, nice. I don't know what that was in response to. My armpit smell. Should I shower or will that destroy the environment? Right now I see. I don't think rubbing lard on your armpits, because you have to kill a few animals, a few cows and stuff to get some lard. So maybe that's not the most environmentally friendly way of doing it. Ben Shaw says they're designed for profit. I'm guessing you mean these tower blocks that they're saying about. Genie Bottle says every village should get extra per percent of number of homes in that village. Towns and cities too. Everywhere gets 10% extra. No objections by NIMBY. Stockport has gone through a bit of a problem with this. There was the joined up, I can't remember what it's called now, the Joint Plan Initiative for Greater Manchester. All 10 boroughs agreed it, apart from Stockport. And Stockport ended up pretty much doing like a Brexit from it, because it was the Tories and the Lib Dems who pulled out. And it was all because of NIMBYs. NIMBYs, and because so many houses were going to be built on Greenland, on greenfield sites, even though we actually had the best deal in this is why it's like Brexit. We had the best deal because other local councils like Rochdale and I think it was Bolton would take some of the Stockport line, quantity of houses that they needed to be built and build them in their boroughs, so that Stockport had a reduced amount of houses that it had to build under this framework. And Stockport went, no, I'm not doing it. So they ended up. But again, another thing is, like you say, we had quite a few independent councillors who were literally local councillors, NIMBY councillors, just their single policy, which was regarding no more houses in our area. So there you go. Anyway, that's my rant about.
Just right up to the end of right up to 10 o'clock on the dot with the ranting as well.
Yeah,
to be fair, like we had other articles, but we wanted to focus more on the conferences anyway, to be fair, guys. So, because obviously we're not going to talk about what happened with what's going on with Israel and Gaza. I have an absolute hard time trying to find news on my channel, let alone just trying to avoid it here, guys. It's just if you're wondering why I haven't covered it, I'll address this. I'll address this on my channel at some point. If you're wondering why I haven't covered it on my channel, it's too toxic. It's way too toxic. I did used to cover stuff over there, but it's now way too toxic, and also it's dangerous as well, because you could get into if you say the wrong things or whatever, you could be targeted as well, like, because it's volatile.
I think one of the other things is quite depressing as well, and we try to keep it a bit light here on the channel. Anybody can find the information. The news articles. It's all over the news. So we kind of stepped away from it as well.
Yeah, we do have a funny video for you guys. Have we got one fun video on the way out?
We still got Mr. Charles, our favourite Guardian reporter.
Oh yes. Do you want to play Mr. Charles, and then we'll do the outro and.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's go with Mr. Charles.
Yes.
Adrian Charles's interesting article of the week. I got a back to front West Brom tattoo, and I love it. For my role in the sitcom, a makeup artist gave me a temporary tattoo, but was mortified to find she had done it the wrong way round. But I like it so much, I'm thinking of making it permanent. That was Adrian Charles's interesting article of the week.
Hold on, wait.
Thank you, Adrian. That was a bit of a classic. It was from 2022, but yeah, the old ones are the best, as you say. So
Fantastic, guys. Adrian Charles' interesting article of the week. We hope you enjoyed that.
yes, yeah.
So
he's always got brilliant bits of nuggets of information for us.
Yeah. So we got one more funny video to see yourselves out before we go, guys. But we just want to say, I know some of you guys have only just turned up now, but we're gonna hit the end of the time slot. So we're so sorry for those who are just dropping in now, unfortunately. But we just want to say, absolutely, thank you guys, everybody who's turned up today. Supported our show. If you can, before you go, hit the like button. It'd be greatly appreciated if you can also share this stream across your social media contacts. Would be greatly appreciated. And if you hit that bell notification icon, you will be notified of when we go live, which is normally every Wednesday at 9 p.m. So we should be back again with another show. Cross fingers, no issues on my side or Lee's side. And at some point, we'll try to work with Daily Blase and All Shorts and try and have a nice gather around table discussion about politics or whatever as well. That is something we definitely need to have a discussion. We keep saying we want to do it, but we actually need to set a date and the four of us and just kind of do it. So, but we've tried to make that happen, definitely.
Yeah.
For sure. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I mentioned it a few times. I have my own YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the chat for you guys as well if you want to go and check that out. Also, as well, we have our own Discord community. If you guys want to join us on there, myself and Lee will be on the chat after the show. So if you guys want to come and say hello and just have a chat with us, we can chat about absolutely anything. Could be football, could be wrestling for me. Lee can talk about his favourite Stockport team or Man City. I can talk about wrestling, which nobody here cares about, or we'll just talk politics or news, whatever it may be. You guys are more than welcome to come and hang out with us there as well.
We've got a few new people on. Sandy Bill is state educated. Is here. If he's got a mirror above his home urinal, it will look the right way round. Yes, that's about Adrian Charles because he's got a urinal in his thing. Nice, good to see Sandy Bill. Casper Northern is here. David Giuraro is here. Betty Brewski is another new name. Hi everyone. Hi Betty B.
Hi Betty B. Sorry. You're doing well.
Unfortunately, you've all kind of turned up just as you're about to finish, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, it's not good because our friends over in Europe they're already an hour late, so we don't really want to be doing the streams later than this.
Yeah, so you can always watch it back afterwards from the beginning. We've got a couple of videos, so we've got a little video for anybody who missed it at the beginning of the stream after the stream. So. So stick around.
Play that one back, are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it again. Yeah, just to get some more views. Yeah, right. Okay, I think that's everybody. Pumps. Yeah. Thanks for coming. We'll leave you with one of our favourite, Colin from Portsmouth.
Yes. Thanks for coming, guys. Take care. Look after yourselves. Don't be afraid to talk. And have a great week, guys. And we'll see you in other live streams, in other chats. Probably be in the Morning Brew of Labour Social. Maybe on Friday with Max and his live stream. Or maybe you guys will join us on Games Night on Saturday on the Discord. Wherever you may be, guys, take care and look after yourselves as always.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Another appalling act of racism directed towards a black footballer on social media. You're the UK spokesman for this platform. Enough's enough.
Yeah, enough really is enough. We've been unequivocal about that, and so now we're taking a stand.
How will you take a stand?
Well, we've been unequivocal, as you know, so now we're being both unequivocal and robust.
Well, that will show them, but how?
Well, then the next time it happens will be clear-cut and unambiguous by doing something about it internally. And then the time after that, we're going to take drastic action.
So not the next time it happens, but the time after.
Unequivocally, yeah. And they won't be getting away with it. Our message is crystal clear. In 2 or maybe 3 times' time, you will be sorry.
And so what will you do in 2 or 3 times' time?
We'll write an unequivocal tweet saying, stop doing this. And then if it happens again, I'm sorry, but we'll have absolutely no choice but to write another tweet.
And what will the tweet say in 2 or 3 times' time?
It'll say very robustly, enough is enough.
Thank you. Enough's enough. Thank you.
Yeah, stop it.
Stop it.
Stand up and fart. Stand up and fart. Because when you stand up and fart, the person beside you stands up and farts. And when our party stands up and farts, the nation stands up and farts. And when our nation stands up and farts, other nations stand up and fart. And they stand up and fart for the things upon which the entire progress of humanity depends. Freedom. That is what conservatives do. That is what this nation does. Have courage. Bring hope. Stand up and fart. Stand up and fart. Thank you, conference.
I think I've followed through. Well, you are full of shit.